to another edition of Bobcat on the Mountain. Here it is. Let's see. Now, I'm waiting for people to arrive. Let us see. Oh, hello. There you are. I was waiting for you. So, this is what I was guided to. I just flipped to it. Like casting runes, kind of like that. Okay. So, I'll show you the page. Picture Bruce Lee. No. To yield is to be preserved whole. That means to be flexible. Just like the principle of a samurai sword is, the outside is hardened, right? But the inside is flexible. So that way the sword does not shatter. The same principle is applied to philosophy. To be bent is to become straight. To be hollow is to be filled. To be tattered is to be renewed. To be in want is to possess. To have plenty is to be confused. One should be in harmony with, not rebellion against, the fundamental laws of the universe. This means that we should do nothing that is not natural or spontaneous. That's improvisation, right? Yup. The important thing is not to strain in any way. So you're seeking balance. This is best illustrated by the cook who has used his knife for 20 years and did not have to replace it. That means he took care of his tool, right? Well, your mind, your body, and soul are the same thing. Really. I look at the soul as a sword. Familiar by long habit with each bone and sinew of the carcass to be cut up. The cook could arrest his sight and other senses and wield the well-tried carving knife with his mind. His method being to work along and not against the various parts, thus following nature. Unity of mind and body discards all thoughts of rewards, right? So I would serve the goddess because I love her, not because I'm going to be given something in return, right? All hopes of praise and fears of blame, all awareness of one's bodily self. See, that's internal emotional function. Overcoming fears of blame, right? In turn, not being a victim, right? And then either blaming yourself because now it's turned internal as well as external. Okay. All awareness of one's bodily self, and finally closing the avenues of sense perception, letting the spirit act as it will, so that you are manifesting reality, right? A subtle art of matching the essence of mind to that of the medium in which it works. The secret waits for the insight of clouds unclouded. Remember nuance? By longing, those who are bound by desire see only the outward container. That means if you're distracted by, say, what if you're an alcoholic, okay, and you desire alcohol? So instead of focusing on your priorities, you are distracted on an addiction. Okay. Now, remember what I said about the philosophical scenes or Chinese, that would go back to mythological ancient teaching. Okay. So here's Bruce with his student. And that was the scene they wanted to cut out of the original Enter the Dragon, in which I have the uncut version. So I have the beginning where he is at the Shaolin Temple, and it's all Chinese there, very ethnic. So anyway, then the next one is titled Dao, or maybe that's just the picture. We'll see. Okay, nope. Dao. So Tao would be pronounced Dao. Now, I had a friend at the university I met. He was Chinese, but there were two different dialects. You had Cantonese, okay, right? And that's like the common tongue for the common person. And then the wealthier and elite spoke Mandarin. All right. So I learned kanji, which is the basic character structure for Japanese and, Korean and all these other languages, closer related, right? But I learned like the elements, how to write those in Cantonese. Okay. Just know some basic stuff. So let's see. So what did I just say? In Cantonese, I said, my name is Fire Dragon. Huo is fire. Long is dragon. And that is my birth year and element of my month. I looked it up. So I'm like, whoa, another one. Wow. Now consider Bruce Lee was called Little Dragon. Okay. Or he goes, what did he say? Something like, in Return of the Dragon, he goes, Dragon whips his tail after he did a spin kick and knocked this dude down. Okay. Before Confucius, the term Dao usually meant a road or a way of action. Confucius used it as a philosophical concept standing for the right way of action. So that could be applied to tribal culture in general. That the right way of action would have been the common way of the people. You would have known that. Moral, social, political, it would have been basics. It would have been expected to be honorable. What did he say? Do nothing that is not in harmony with nature. I live by that. Look at nature. What does nature show you? The Taoists use the term Tao to stand for the totality of all things, equivalent to what some philosophers have called the absolute. So that means like the truth that is undeniable. What is that? Okay, here it is. For me, grandmother, grandfather of my tribe, and all those that came, we are a tribe. And that is where we go. That is the other world, period. It is soul light. That is why intention is so important. You walk in there with love, honor, and respect, you will be accepted. You walk in there as a disrespectful douchebag, you will be kicked to the side until you want to figure out what right action is. And Morgan, okay, sovereignty, direct link to natural law. That's my opinion, of course. The Tao was the basic stuff out of which all things were made. So that's what? Elemental energy. Now, what is unique is, like, for me, I would describe it as folk soul living memory. What are we? We are living memory consciousness. Okay, in my opinion, of course, even in physical form. But what I am saying is that the folk soul is made out of refined light. Okay? And if you hold love, that cannot be destroyed. Not ever. Infinite. Multiplies. Love multiplies and become infinitely light or infinitely dense. And that includes memory. So I feel everything we do is recorded. Just like a crystal has a history of growth. Ice, same thing. Crystalline, even the water holds memory. And that is why also disrupting the wells of the goddess was a big deal. It disrupted the energies of the whole land. So there would be little enclaves where you basically have the remnant, maybe hiding a well for that matter, because a well was life. So sacred and special. I mean, you could even build a house around it and hide it. I'm not joking. Because, no food. Okay, you can survive a while and you'll get a little skinny, but you can survive. But no water, and it's not going to be long before you go down. So that's to be considered. Can you purify water if you can't carry it with you? That means any water source, right? This fresh water in general, you could purify and use. Now, what if you could also purify salt water? You see what I'm saying? So also mineral content. What if the basin of the well was crystal? What did I say? Crystal cave, right? Now, among the native peoples, there was something going on with Vegas, okay? And they wanted the water of the Go Shoot Indians, for instance. But let's apply that to, say, wells in Ireland, Scotland, or Sweden or something. It's equivalent to sacredness of the people's living memory in the water. That is why water is always associated with the goddess. What is the shape of the well? It is round. It is a circle. What is the shape of the womb of the planet? It is a circle. What is the shape of a cell? You're getting the point. Or an egg, for that matter, inside a woman. Sacredness. That is why there needs to be a division in treatment that I feel. I am grateful my dad taught me that at an early age, because that could get you into a lot of trouble if you don't know basic boundaries, and that you are to be honorable and act as a gentleman around ladies, period, end of discussion. Doesn't mean I'm perfect, but you know what I'm saying. Endurance is to keep one's place. Nothing should be consciously planned. Well, that is allowing the superconscious to manifest through you, thus animating the same principle as animism in the land, as spirit of the land. We'll see. Spontaneous action, of which nature, Tao, was the grand practitioner. This action of nature was real action. The second was action taken with design, premeditated, and directed to chosen ends. What does that mean? The natural mechanisms of the earth where things would just manifest, right? Versus man-made. This, however attractive it might seem, was here it is. This is, see, the elves are shown as living in harmony, right, with nature. I just use Lord of the Rings because there's good visuals. Like Elrond's kingdom, not the Wood Elf. He was kind of, evil, but his kingdom was still cool. You know what I'm saying? They defended their kingdom. And I feel there is something real there, and that maybe, okay, in my opinion, we descend from immortal beings, but that is my opinion, or we are transforming and becoming greater, so that when we go to the other realm to join our tribe and family, we are continually growing. And so how can you gain more responsibility without having a natural equilibrium with your environment and other people in general. Okay, but specifically your tribe, descended. This action of nature was real action. Okay. The second was action taken with design. I'm reading this again for a reason. Premeditated and directed to chosen ends. That means your will is one with what you are doing. Now add that to also being in harmony with your greater tribe. Things become fluid because you are in harmony with what your function is. In my opinion, of course. The man in whom the truth is bright has no anger. Okay. The truth is bright. Okay. So what does that imply? The light of truth. Now, apply that to Lu's sword. And you're going to see a repeating pattern. That truth and light are linked. And then let's look at the root word of truth itself, right? Be still while you work and keep full control over all. To know, but to be as though not knowing. That means that you don't lord it over anyone because you're constantly in harmony, right? So there's no need. Is the height of wisdom. Yep. The stillness in stillness is not the real stillness. So you see, everything is always in motion. Only when there is stillness in movement, but there isn't. You say? Is there? I don't think so. There might be a change of frequency. To defend is to attack. To attack is to defend. Firmness cannot be for long, and softness cannot always be in the defensive. If you feel emptiness, strike in a straight line. Okay. And that's where I end that for now. It was cool. So the goal, like I said, this year, the goal is to get as focused and centered and balanced as possible. Why? Last year was really rough, and I was out of harmony. So identifying the issue, I took action to fix it instead of stagnant, right? But it is a cycle and a willful action to improve that skill over time. Therefore, being completely self-sufficient, right? Centered, balanced, and in tune with your greater goals, thus achieving them. These tuning heads are almost self-guiding. It's trippy. Nice. Sounds good. All right. There we go. Nice. Okay, let me grab a pick. All right. Okay, I found it. I'm gonna use a purple one. Sounds better. I like this. This is cool. All right. I'm going to turn up just slight. I'm on 40% now. Coming up. Oh, shit. Yeah. Too much. I'm sorry. Whoa. Test it out the way. Take the glasses off. Get double vision when you look down. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of tricky, but you have to figure out how to hang all this shit so that you don't catch wires while you're playing, you know what I mean? So kind of move that out of my way. Whoa. Pull it back, go by. There we go. It's kind of lighter, huh? Yeah, I don't hit it as hard, you know. Learn to kind of relax more when you're on video, you know what I mean? So funny because you watch certain people walk around on stage and it looks like they're just at their house, you know. I've heard like of some musicians that are actually more comfortable on stage than they are just walking around in public. Because that's comprehensible. At least you have a barrier. I turned the amp down to about half what the power was. So I'm going to have to feel it out. I'm like, am I lacking volume? Right? But overpowering is probably less desirable. We'll just say that. But sometimes you just want to let loose and let it rock. Or like, rock? No. Let it folk, baby. So right now it's just about carrying peaceful vibes. That's why I'm going slow. Okay, just my hand. Cool. well, so that's this thin one. Hear how soft that is, right? So, well, that's what they said. So. Wow. Like, how relaxed am I? I'm very relaxed. Oh, easy on the way. Easy on the way. Better take it easy. Oh. Well, they say that they didn't know. So you said you didn't know. But I'm here to shine. Here to shine. Hop for you. Hop for you, say they. Yeah. Tree blaming well. Whoa. Crystal cave, and you know it's easy on. Easy on. Got us on the way. Got us on the way. Better take it easy. Gonna release the tension deep down in my heart and soul. I can sometimes feel an aching deep down inside, but I said, gotta spill my heart and soul. Or if you claim me as your own, then I know I have you on my side, yeah. grandmother on the way, grandmother Volvo, oh, ancient druidess, ancient wise woman of the way, can see you in a cloak and path, in the woodland, in a cloak and path in the woodland. Oh, and I honor your sovereignty. Sure as a tree flaming well, sure as you know you will. Oh, 'cause it's easy on the breeze, and they push it on the wave. Easy on the wave. And she knows her heart's flame is a blazing fire. Oh, her heart is a deep well, seed to root down, branches reaching to the sky for the sun that shines. Oh, 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 hey. Feel you in the air, feel you as the leaves spiral to the ground. Oh, spiral up and spiral down, columns of leaves rising from the ground. Wise women in the circle, me, center of the spiral, round, 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 round. Close your eyes and shine. Oh, love of a folk soul, living memory. Oh, Okay. Now we're going to do, oh, don't catch that. The 12 string, but not plugged in. Super loud. Holy shit. That shit was freaking powerful. I was like, whoa. Getting blasted back by a cannon, you know what I'm saying? It's got to be easy. Get it right up, you know, for being too supreme. That's what they said. Ooh. Ooh. Business, baby. Woo! That's some tension, baby. But I will admit I have to warm up to 12 because I have it tuned higher, right? Okay. In older times, it was less frets, okay, and a lower tuning because it just didn't have the reinforcements to not rip this straight off. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you put too much tension, and you could ruin your instrument that way. I'll admit I have to go back through and retune it, but I was like, just what the heck, pick it up and just go. But that just shows how long these will stay in tune, you know, like untouched. That was hard. I know. Try again. Enough of that. Now, let me see what else. Behind, what do I have behind me? Oh. I have a classical behind me. That's what I got. Alrighty. I do like classical a lot because you can, oops, projects really well. sounds so weird. It's a weird energy. Like, yesterday was so hardcore. Like, the wind was so high, it nearly ripped the screen door off. Like, it was strong enough. Standing up, I was getting pushed back just a little bit at times. So, like, when you saw me recording, I was recording in the middle of a windstorm. It's kind of cool. I don't know. I always like the wind. Nope. You're like, Robert, just give it up, man. You're tired. Yeah, I am tired. I didn't sleep well last night. That's okay. That's all right. Nope, I did not sleep well. It's been hardcore, and like, I'm sensitive, so I pick up on like the I'll give you an idea of what I saw. Okay, just in my neighborhood, they're already having kids practice putting their arms out to keep people at a distance away. Okay, whatever. And then I saw, what was it? Possible remedy by someone I'll have to look into, but I don't know. I think there's a lot of hype that goes on with stuff like this. You know what I mean? In order to promote and sell things. And now mandatory vaccination is a great way to make a lot of money, but that's my opinion. That's one side of the coin. I don't know. All I know is that is the official release, and I have a general mistrust of mainstream media in general. So why would I trust the CDC on top of that? You know what I mean? If you are mandated to do some shit by law, then that's what they're going to do. And they will quarantine you, kind of like putting you in the mental hospital, but it's in the health hospitals, You're like, huh? So I guess here we are supposed to have had reported like 19 cases of that virus, which is, very minute, but why is it starting in such small numbers all over the place? It's like little poison pills being dropped or something. I don't know where it's all coming from, but that's just my theory. You're like, you've watched too many X-Files. Yeah, I watched that show too. But a concept I've had for a long time is this. All right. How is it in the wholeness of all that is or ever shall be, there is only one planet with life on it? I'm not buying it. You hear me? So who knows in the vastness of creation what exists? Different races of immortal beings you don't know. And what seeded the earth, right? Where did all these different creatures come from? Could they have been seeded as well? Another question, why is everything predatorial, right? Versus a planet that would be possibly designed in a different way, higher function, higher state of harmony in general, right? Interdependent life, living in harmony with the earth, like the elves. That's my dream, is to live like that, for real. What more enjoyable life could you have than to be at one with the woodland? I'm not seeing it. As far as I'm concerned, that is the other world to me. That is Tir Nanog. And closer we get, especially it's Sunday today, as related to the sun. Oh, it is? Yeah. It's funny because the whole Saturday thing, but that was a Christian thing where they flipped it there. But it's like, okay, it's on the same day that you would be giving salutations to the sun. You catch it? But they don't pick up on the symbology, because in the beginning of, let's say, when you're young, they don't teach you anything like that. It's all over, like the Mormon temple and shit, but they don't teach you that. Nope. You got to be in the upper ranks. And you're like, whatever. But I'm perceptive enough to where I could just research shit. Hey, that looks familiar. Oh, that looks familiar too. Now you remember, everything's a geometrical form and shape, but they can assign the intention to it, right? So the intention and use of the geometrical symbol is the important part, right? What does it mean? And most importantly, what action does it take? Yes, I'm smoking on camera. Oh, it is the white hot fire of light that only preserves the consciousness, that protects innocent love. End of statement. That is my folk soul. Now, creative and destructive, yes. But what is the core? You are not at war with your family if the family is the core. Therefore, harmony is your natural state, right? Oh, yes. Let me see. Now, read from, see what else I turned to. Turned away. Oh, wow. Okay, you saw me flip. Did I plan that? Is there a bookmark? No. Here it is. Oh, I like this. Okay, listen. The problem with black belts. Question. You seem down on the whole idea of black belt rankings. Why is this? Bruce Lee answers. There simply isn't time in a man's life, if he were to train the proper Oriental way, to receive such an honor. If Orientals can't earn it, surely Americans who practice 1 or 2 nights a week can't. See, it's an everyday practice, right? It's internalized. I'm very much against this. Become a holy terror in 3 easy lessons mentality. Yeah. You don't learn self-control that way, that's for sure. The natural versus the supernatural. Everything's natural, but we'll just go with that. Question. Some martial artists indicate the true masters of their various styles have developed an inner spiritual type of gung fu. See, internal function, internal process. So you got to read between the lines and then go, how can I apply that? That enables them to perform incredible, almost supernatural feats, such as being impervious to swords and knives. Do you think that this kind of thing is real? It is. Bruce Lee. I think to be a really good martial artist, one already has things to learn in this life. So why should a person learn that? Therefore, I really don't have an interest in this. He kept it to himself. There is a reason, because higher levels of, say, spiritual abilities are not taught to people that will abuse them traditionally at all, because you will end up hurting innocent people or hurting yourself. So your internal process will determine the inner harmony, right? The outcome before it ever even comes. It's a reality. It's like the web of weird or web of word. I like to say weird. Something about it. Because it has that year, you know what I mean? That just resonates off the tongue. And the sword is like a word or words. Flip it to the other side, you have words, right? Huh. See, English, in my opinion, is an occult language, especially modern English. Now, if you think about the vowels in a sense of primordial sounds, and then each tribe would have their primordial, say, living folk memory, right? That is specific and original to them. That's what makes sense to me. Time does not exist. It is only a process, right? And a layering of happenings and experience. Well, what is time? It is assigned by human beings. What do you have that always repeats? Cycles, circles. Just like the goddess. That is why the goddess, in my opinion, is Alpha. Yeah. And grandfather would be Alpha for his own reasons. But think about it. The O encompasses everything. Now think about that in terms of the earth again. Now, in a larger context, what if at one time, or even now, who knows, there were portals and gateways you could go through from the earth to another plane of existence, just like Tir na Nog. So what was myth? What if that is reality? So there are also Native American stories associated with people going into the hill. Just like you have that with the Tuatha De Danann. That doesn't mean they're the same group. No, the same capability, possibility, who knows? But I will not limit myself based on what society tells me is possible within reason, right? But something you don't comprehend that you note as supernatural is simply the natural, but you don't comprehend how that happened. Now, natural would be in flow with the harmony of what is versus trying to bend the harmony of the greater whole to your wish, right? It's like a king that is in harmony with his people, or a queen that is in harmony with her people, right? And one that is just simply warlording and dominating their people. Two different ways of approaching it. And so Morgan is described as oath, period. She does not break her oath, nor does she allow anyone to serve her that breaks the oath. Why? Because then they will betray. They cannot be trusted. It has to be 100%, right? It's like, let's say you have a dog or a cat, all right? And they sense you love them 100%. They will protect you with their lives. You know, if properly trained, but most dogs are instinctual that way. Versus a dog, say you beat up and now it wants nothing to do with you and is ready to attack you. Well, children are no different. And so if you treat people like that, that's what they learn. And it becomes base instinct. So higher function doesn't develop because you get stuck in those lower functioning centers in your brain. And you have to develop those higher functioning parts of your brain to use them, right? I'm going to very soon take a break and then probably do some tuning off camera and then come back. Okay? All right. Very good then. Thank you for listening. Shine on, shine on. Oh, free folk of the woodland.